think somebody's already dead.
911, do you have an emergency?
Hi, is this 911?
911, where's your emergency?
911, where's your emergency?
What you just heard was a horrified mother, Alina Usello, begging for someone to rescue her two children from what seemed to be a YouTube prank gone wrong, ending the life of an innocent boy and leaving a daughter without a brother. The people you see in front of you were the ones involved in the accident, but the protagonists were a group of boys who just wanted to stay relevant. However, only 2 years prior to this incident were working normal jobs, never having known that a YouTube career was even a possibility. During these times on YouTube, challenge videos were growing in popularity and outperforming every other niche. And one of YouTube's greatest, MrBeast, had been dominating the homepage along with thousands of other creators like Brent and Rivera. Although it was already a famous YouTuber for not letting his 22-year-old adult sister date any boys, which is just weird. But he later started copying other creators such as David Dobrik with Surprising My Friends with Ariana Grande, or the Sidemen with Tinder in Real Life. Spoilers, they got kids to match with each other.
Ooh. Hello, I'm Merrick. I'm 14 years old and I'm a dancer.
All right, show us what you got, Merrick.
What the hell? Oh my God.
But Brent then went on to steal videos from MrBeast and gain millions of dollars by doing so. Whereas YouTubers like Matthew Beam didn't try and hide the fact that he was stealing. He instead just put MrBeast in his thumbnails and titles, getting over 24 million views and taking up another spot on the homepage only to look like a MrBeast copy. Matteo Di Pietro realised this and presented his friends with a chance to turn their lives around with an offer that none of them could turn down, creating a YouTube channel, TheBorderline, on the 25th of September 2020 and studying the best way to get views over the next 3 months. The crew then decided that by copying MrBeast's videos they were bound to go viral, being that MrBeast had yet to make an Italian channel, so TheBorderline had a completely new audience to discover, which they did after uploading their first video on the 24th of December 2020 with a video titled "Giving a Random Homeless Man €1,000", which received over 70,000 views, and on top of that is a great gesture. But TheBorderline didn't try and hide the fact that they were recreating content from old MrBeast videos, even admitting to being a heavily MrBeast inspired channel. But nonetheless, the audience praised TheBorderline for doing such a selfless act, and although it seemed like TheBorderline's YouTube career was off to the perfect start, they completely stopped uploading, leaving the channel to collect dust for over 10 months upon returning in late 2021. During the months of silence, TheBorderline realised that they didn't want to follow the crowd by completely writing off MrBeast videos. They wanted to be dominating YouTube and be seen as competition by Jimmy himself. And so in an attempt to draw attention to the channel, they uploaded once more with a video titled "Last to Leave Stray Jacket wins €300. That is a bit dramatic. But seeing the stats, the video brought in loads of traction, having over 1 million views and performing significantly better than their previous video, and putting TheBorderline exactly where they wanted to be, giving them fans that hadn't yet seen this type of content and were intrigued on where it could go. And so the crew came together once more and planned the following video, which had to be bigger and better than the previous one, which ended up being surviving in a forest for 24 hours. At this point, TheBorderline entirely took off, and this ended up being one of their most popular videos ever. But the video only 2 to the left of this is the video that changed TheBorderline's life for the worst. Surviving 50 hours in a car. Which seems like just a road trip, so how could this have caused the disaster that you see before you unless you're so incompetent in which you crash? Upon posting said video, it was clear it performed better than any other video, and so Matteo Di Pietro, the one in charge of TheBorderline, got the idea to turn it into a series, having a follow-up video not long after, Surviving 50 Hours in a Tesla, which also performed incredibly well, and the Surviving 50 Hours in a Vehicle series seemed to be successful and the audience loved it, and so the crew would begin to plan the third video, not knowing it would rock them into a different life altogether. After 2 videos being posted, TheBorderline decided to make the third significantly more dangerous, hopefully giving them a chance to go full time on YouTube. In an attempt to do so, they started filming Driving for 50 Hours Straight, which would be a video with the leader of the crew and the driver of the car, Matteo Di Pietro, and the 3 other members got in their Lamborghini Urus and attempted to drive 50 hours straight with no stop, or no sleep whatsoever. If you ever pulled an all-nighter when you were a kid, you'd know that staying awake for over 24 hours is a difficult thing to do. So doing that and adding another 26 hours is almost impossible. But what you might not know is staying awake for only 17 hours and driving, you end up entering the same amount of danger as you would be in if you were drunk driving. And after 48 hours of having no sleep, your body goes into an almost sleep-like state. But it wouldn't be the tiredness that day to blame for the horrible incident that occurred. It would rather be the carelessness and lack of self-awareness the Borderline had that day for the people around them. Not long before they decided to start filming this video, one of the crew members recorded a TikTok displaying the car that had crashed, which would be the last known piece of content before the incident that you're able to see today. The TikTok shows Vito Loiacono, a 22-year-old who seems not capable of acting like it. He was a popular member of the Borderline and one of the two people confirmed to have gotten in the car that day, but hadn't been behind the wheel. The other being Matteo Di Pietro, the leader of the Borderline crew and only other confirmed person in the vehicle, being the driver. The whereabouts of the other two members that day are unknown and have not yet been confirmed whether or not they were on board. The two got in the car with hopes to go viral and ended up doing so, but not for the right reasons. You see, only an hour or so into driving, the two decided that it would be funny to taunt other drivers on the road and distract them, purposely causing trouble and completely disregarding the fact that they were putting the other people around them in danger by driving so recklessly and trying to overtake other people for no apparent reason other than to get content, having no idea that there was a car near them with two children on board. Elena Usello was the mother of those two children, a 5-year-old boy and 4-year-old daughter, and also a wife to a partner who wasn't involved in the accident. It seemed as though she was living a dream life with a loving family, but little does she know that that was all going to get taken away from her as she stepped into the car that day with her two kids, leaving her husband at home. As she drove with her two children in the back seat of the car, she noticed a blue Lamborghini Urus speeding up behind her, seeming as though it was going to overtake. The two people in the Lamborghini were Vito and Matteo, aka the Borderline. As they sped up and got as close as they could in an attempt to shout stuff at them and distract them, they swerved the car into them, causing a head-on collision with the other vehicle, which caused what was described as a gruesome scene. Elena was badly injured, along with her 5-year-old boy and 4-year-old daughter. A crowd then gathered outside to help everyone involved in the accident, but by the time help got there, it was too late for the mother's 5-year-old Manuel Priotti, and he unfortunately died on the scene. His 4-year-old sister, who was beside him, and his mother were both rushed to hospital with severe injuries, but had been treated and fortunately survived the crash. But for the Borderline, everything was completely normal. No injuries, only a damaged car and the feeling of guilt that would follow them for the rest of their lives. After this incident, for some absurd reason, the Borderline continued making videos until an investigation was launched for vehicular homicide and charging Matteo Di Pietro with just that. Articles state that he has been imprisoned, however it has not been given out as public information, so it is still under speculation. And not long after, hundreds of videos were randomly deleted from the channel and a new one had been posted. 14/06/23 was a 40-second video uploaded by the crew as an apology and a goodbye. It read, "What has happened has left everyone marked with a deep wound. Nothing will ever be the same again." It also states that the Borderline crew stops all activity from now on, leaving the channel behind to collect dust, along with the other platforms the Borderline crew are on, such as Instagram, TikTok and Twitter. After being arrested, Matteo's social media accounts were removed and the two other members of the Borderline's accounts have been deleted. However, Vito Loiacono's TikTok has only just recently had activity, and it seems as though he's taken a break and travelled around the world, and we won't have to wait long to find out if the Borderline will return under a different channel with a different motive. And Bren, stop being weird. We know your sister's hot, but you don't need to protect her.
Please give me a chance.